You are watching the latest edition of the Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. My first guest is a double board certified plastic surgeon who specializes in a new procedure that he calls the Lipotuck. This procedure is a combination tummy tuck and high volume liposuction. If you have unwanted fat around your abdomen because of weight gain, or if you have lost weight and now you have sagging skin and stretch marks, this new procedure can get rid of that. My advice, stick around for the latest edition of the Wellness Hour.
The Wellness Hour, an in-depth discussion with today's top physicians and medical leaders. And now, your host, Randy Alvarez.
You are watching the latest edition of the Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. My first guest is Ahamadi, MD. Dr. Ahamadi is board certified in both general surgery and by the American Board of Plastic Surgery. I've been told by other plastic surgeons that Dr. Ahamadi is one of the best plastic surgeons in the world. He's here today to discuss the procedure that he developed, the Lipotuck procedure. Dr. Ahamadi, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Randy.
The Lipotuck. You pioneered this procedure.
Yes,
Is that correct?
I did. Yes.
It's a combination. Liposuction, tummy tuck.
Liposuction and tummy tuck. It really works well. It took me a long time to work on it and get it right. It is really a unique combination of tummy tuck and aggressive liposuction.
Now you trademarked this.
I did trademark
Is that right?
it because it really is not just a liposuction or tummy tuck. It really is a combination of the two, so hence the Lipotuck.
Are you teaching other doctors this technique yet?
Not yet, but soon. I think once the buzz gets around, we will have to start doing some of that too.
Now we've talked off camera, and why this focus on Lipotuck? Why do you like it?
Well, Randy, when I started doing tummy tuck, I was very unhappy with what it did, and basically what it didn't do for the waistline and the upper abdomen. If you take a typical patient, they usually have excess skin, but that excess skin usually wraps around the body. Where the tummy tuck stops, it usually works for the lower abdomen, but stops for the upper, doing anything for the upper abdomen or the waistline. So liposuction takes over from then on.
And we've invited you on the show to talk about the Lipotuck, but your practice, I mean, you do everything there?
Pretty much everything. Take it from the top, do Botox, the fillers, the Restylane. We do brow lifts, eye lifts, rhinoplasty, implants, mid-facelift, otoplasty, which is pinning back of the ears. Certainly we do breast work and body contouring, which usually involves tummy tuck and liposuction and lifts.
Okay, now moving on to Lipotuck. Tell us, so this Lipotuck, define it. What does it mean?
In a few words, it's a very unique combination of a tummy tuck and a very aggressive liposuction of the areas that traditionally were not done before.
What do you mean they were not done before?
Well, during my training, we are usually taught not to do too much liposuction of the abdomen and the waistline during these procedures because they're assumed not to be safe, and we were always taught that it may complicate the outcome. However, I'll show you in a few minutes that that's not the case necessarily.
I talk to surgeons and they say liposuction should only be used for those last little 10 pound, little pocket areas that you can't get with diet and exercise. You're saying that you'll work on the person that's 60, 80, 100 pounds overweight. I mean, is that right? I mean, you haven't said that, but is that correct?
I think we need to look at this thing a little bit differently. When people come to my office, when these ladies come to my office, they've gone through the gym, they've done all the diet, they've done all the exercising, they've signed up at the gyms, they have their own personal trainer. It hasn't done them any good because they're not motivated.
Okay.
The motivation being they want to look nice.
Sure.
It has not worked at all for these ladies. They're at the end of the road basically. So here I come and say, let me work on one section and one section only. I'm not talking about a whole body liposuction, weight reduction, body lift or anything like that. Take one section.
Which is their abdomen?
Which is the abdomen, the back and the flanks and hips and all that.
Okay.
And making it perfect. Just making it come out perfect. And then tell them, I've given you what you wanted. Now it's your turn to give me what I want from you. And that is, I want you to get in the gym.
Good.
Exercise. I want you to change your dietary habits. I don't want you to go through the drive-thrus anymore. You're going to eat healthy fruits and vegetables and salads. Get rid of all your diet pills.
Good.
I don't want you in the gym. And my girls are going to call you. We're going to call you and bug you to make sure that you're following through with the program.
So you're not afraid to do surgery on the patient that's 60, 70, 80 pounds overweight?
I would use that with caution. I choose my patients carefully. They have to be motivated.
Motivated 60 pound, 70 pound overweight person?
Not a problem.
Really?
Not a problem.
Okay, good.
They have to be motivated and they have to be healthy. Obviously, this is an elective procedure and the outcome needs to be safe.
Okay.
We're not saving lives and we're not doing heart bypass surgery on a sick patient. We're taking a healthy patient and we want the patient to come out healthy at the end of the day.
Okay.
So this procedure is for overweight people, but we're looking at it differently. Let's give you a jump start. Let's get you in the gym and do the rest by yourself now.
Good. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we're back, we have to look at these photos. You're watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. We are talking about the Lipotuck procedure with board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Ahamadi. We'll be right back.
Oh my God, Lipotuck has changed my life in such a tremendous way. My self-esteem, my appearance, all of the compliments that I get from other people. Since I've had Lipotuck, I feel much healthier. Actually, I feel like I almost had a gastric bypass. I don't eat as much. It's just totally made a change in my health status. After having the procedure, Lipotuck made me feel like a new woman.
You're watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. We are here with board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Ahamadi, and we're talking about the Lipotuck procedure. Okay, Dr. Ahamadi, a recap, people just tuning in. We're talking about high-volume liposuction, tummy tuck. So let's move to this first photo.
Let's take a look at this before picture. She is one of my most favorite patients.
Okay.
She has a lot of history. She came to my office, and there was something about her that I sensed, something deep. As if she had been very depressed for quite a long time, and I knew that her concern was her tummy.
Okay.
But she'd been turned down. She had been offered more aggressive procedures like the gastric bypass.
You mean she was turned down by other surgeons
by the
to do lipo or tummy tuck?
No, for the tummy tuck, but they couldn't guarantee that she would come out flat and chiseled, that hourglass form that she was looking for.
Okay.
She saw through other friends, people that I have done, and she got to know me, and she came to my office finally. Very shy lady, very shy at the beginning. She even had a hard time showing me her abdomen. It was very hard for her to show all this extra skin.
This looks like a man's belly. This is a huge overhang. And I've talked to other surgeons about this, and this is very difficult to
Randy,
do. I've been told.
This is not an all too familiar patient in my office. This is as typical as they become.
Okay.
As they get in my office. But let's go over it together. The extra skin starts way from above the belly button and goes.
What about this ugly dimpling?
Way below. And the dimpling, well, that's really the belly button, but you can't really see it. It's buried under all that wrinkled skin, the stretch marks from pregnancies. And if you were to examine her, she would have no tone to her abdomen. But the more important thing is, I want you to look at, and I want the audience to realize, is that this is not only extra skin, there's a lot of fatty tissue underneath it. If you just cut the skin from here to here, which I did, you're gonna end up with a very tight abdomen below the belly button, but very rounded up on top. It's not gonna look good.
Okay, tell me this, so I understand. You're saying you cut this much skin out from here to here?
That's what it took. That's what it took to achieve.
So that's this much skin.
That's about that much skin wrapped all the way around her.
You cut it out.
Cut it out, gone.
And then you, tell me what you do, by the way. Help me understand the tummy tuck aspect to this. What are you doing surgically?
Well, it's basically removal of a skin. You have to know how much to remove so that it comes together at one end, and tighten the abdominal fascia, bring the musculature back together. And then the liposuction comes in, a lot of liposuction.
Okay, so you cut out that area. And I guess stretch marks could be in between there, dimply skin, and then you're pulling it together?
The stretch mark is gone. They're thrown away. That's it.
Right?
You throw away the skin that has all that stretch marks. It's
so that's
gone.
like 6 inches of skin area?
At least, sometimes more.
Like
12 inches.
Like a
easily.
Foot of skin you remove?
Absolutely, yes.
Seems like horrible scarring.
Well, no, not really. I'll show you some pictures afterwards.
Okay. So this woman's after we're going to see.
Yes.
In a second, obviously. Okay, let's back to this woman. Huge overhang. What were her options?
Well, she could have the traditional tummy tuck.
Right.
That would address the lower abdomen, but it would stop right over here, and it would address the upper abdomen.
Okay.
She would come out of it looking maybe pregnant.
What does that mean?
Well, if you don't liposuction the upper abdomen, you're going to still have that fatty bulge.
She'll have a
up there.
high.
She'll have a very bulging
fat.
high upper abdomen.
You see that a lot,
That's a typical outcome.
and that's in the surgeon's hands.
That's in the hands of any board certified plastic surgeon. If I were right now to do just a tummy tuck on her, she would come out of it very unhappy,
Looking pregnant.
looking at least a few months pregnant.
Okay.
But what I want you to concentrate on is that the stretch marks go way behind. You can see them over here on the sides too,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
the fact that there's quite a bit of fatty deposit on the sides.
Right.
So it's not only the front part, but it's usually the sides. This is the sides that you have to concentrate on, and that's where the Lipotuck comes in, because it is a unique, very unique overall makeover of the abdomen and the trunk.
Okay. Is it possible she would go to another surgeon and they say, you know what, lose 30 pounds first before doing lipo?
They will go to another surgeon. Typically, the surgeon's answer would be, you need to lose a few pounds, or let me do liposuction first, and then come back for the tummy tuck, or let me do the tummy tuck first, come back for the liposuction.
Okay.
I'm doing it all at once. I used to be one of those surgeons. We've kind of breaking the grounds over here. We're going to do it all in one session now, safely.
So you did the surgery. You did a tummy tuck.
And the liposuction.
You got very aggressive.
This lady started with a size 16. She went to a size 8 in 2.5 months. Now I can see that you don't believe me, but
Well, actually, when you look at the before and after side by side, now you got rid of that complete overhang. So this scarring.
the scarring,
Is-
this
is-
is only 2.5 months out, and I promise you that in a few months you will not see much of that scar. And she can wear a bikini. She can now enjoy going to the beach. She can go to the swimming pool with her kids in the neighborhood. Her
Very
life has
natural
changed.
looking belly button, by the way.
Yeah,
Very
it's
natural.
this belly button is one of my pet peeves. I have to get it right. And if you want a natural belly button, you really have to know what you're doing.
Okay, now with this before and after, this was not possible.
This was
These
not,
kind of results were not possible before the Lipotuck was invented or discovered.
they could possibly be done in multiple stages. Either do the tummy tuck first, or come and do the liposuction first and then switch to surgery.
Okay.
You would have to go through 2 sets of surgeries. You would have to have 2 recoveries, which is not necessarily a good thing, because you have to go through the procedure twice. People have to take care of you twice, and you have to recover twice.
Aside from the time, better result to do it in one shot?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, this is high volume. I mean, this is other surgeons, and because I received your photos, a board certified plastic surgeon in California showed him. He says, this is amazing.
That's the.
I mean, it really is.
These are the comments that I get all the time.
And I'm not trying to endorse you here, doctor, but it truly is a huge, dramatic difference. Anybody that sees this can see. So she has a flat stomach now.
The comment that I get most about these pictures is that these are of 2 different people, but they're not. I promise you, they're not. These have not been touched up. The procedure does work. It works very well, and it's safe.
Now, all the dimpling that was around her,
It's all gone. It's all thrown away.
you cut it out.
It's all gone. The skin gets cut from here to here. It gets thrown away. But a lot of the work gets done on the waist. I don't want you to dismiss the waist. Anybody can do a tummy tuck. Pretty much anybody can do it. Anybody can do liposuction nowadays. But it takes a few individuals who know what they're doing to combine the 2 procedures together and get
the
it
waist.
right.
So hitting it hard on the
Hitting them hard on the sides. That's where your waistline is.
okay.
Hitting them hard on the side and making sure that that scar falls on in a natural curve, so it gets hidden by the common,
So
bikini
she could wear a
styles
bikini.
nowadays.
She could wear a bikini that's hidden.
Yes, look at it. I mean, it would be very easy for her to just pick up any bikini at one of those fashionable places, Victoria's
Right.
Secrets and all that, and
Right.
then just enjoy, the sun and the outdoors now.
You have more photos.
Well, let's look at this lady. She's a professional. She owns multiple businesses around my office. She came to me a few months ago, and she was very unhappy. She was very unhappy about her tummy. She'd been through the gym. You've heard this
Right.
before. We just talked about this. She's typical story. She's been to the
Okay.
gym. She tried the diets, all that, but she just couldn't lose the weight. Once the skin is stretched out so much, and you can
Is
see
after pregnancy? This.
some of it is pregnancy, but in her case, a lot of it was just weight gain by just not eating right.
Okay.
And she's a professional. She owns multiple businesses. She just didn't have time to take care of herself. This is beginning to sound all too familiar now.
Mm-hmm.
She's got extra skin. She's from here to about here.
A lot of
A lot of skin. You can see it's been stretched out. If she goes and just works out, this skin is just going to drop and drop and drop.
This is a common look. I don't see women.
Well,
As a layperson, I don't see this look. This is common.
Well, maybe you don't notice it, but there are a lot of people out there. They just hide it.
Okay.
They hide it. Maybe they sit at homes. These are our secretaries. These are our moms.
Okay.
These could be our sisters out there.
Okay.
Once you start, eating junk food and not exercise, this is what happens to your body. Unfortunately, pregnancy doesn't help at all either.
So as a surgeon, what are you looking at that you know you have to do? What do you see wrong with this picture?
I look at the waist first. I try to block out in my mind the tummy. I look at the waist first.
Very thick from here to
Very
here.
thick. A lot of fatty deposits on the side. A lot of fatty deposits on the sides and a lot of stretch marks.
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, we get taught, okay, look at the tummy. The tummy is the front part of the abdomen. But when I got to think of it more, I realized that it's the waistline that I need to work on first.
Okay.
The area that's been missed.
That means from the frontal view, the waist. Is that what we're talking about? The waistline?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Look at this 3/4 shot.
Mm-hmm.
This area right over here. This is the area that I want to work on. Because even if you achieve a good tummy tuck,
You get a boxy look.
you get a clamshell look. I wouldn't call it box, I would call it clamshell. Just like closing doors of the lids of a clam together.
Okay.
It tied it in the front and it bulges out the sides.
Interesting.
That's what happens. So what I ended up doing for her was the Lipotuck.
Okay.
Started by doing an aggressive amount of liposuction on the sides, removing the skin on the sides first,
Mm-hmm.
which is different than what
How much skin did you remove on this woman?
this woman,
Looking at it with the pen, show me.
pretty much from here to here, which is almost about
This
a
whole
foot.
area right here.
All of that skin
You cut it out.
thrown away.
I
All
just
of
don't
that.
understand how you're able to cut out that part above the belly button and then create a new belly button.
Well, you just have to pull them very tight.
You have to go back in and make a belly button? Is it
Well,
an artificial belly button or it's the same belly
It's
button?
the same belly button, but it comes through a new hole.
I got it. Okay.
So the skin gets draped over it, make a new hole,
Interesting.
and the
Okay.
belly button comes through.
Okay.
But the art of it is to make it look natural.
Right.
And I worked on that quite a bit.
Okay, let's take a look at the after.
And here's the after picture. You can see
Absolutely shocking.
hourglass on the sides. She went from size 16, now she's about 10.
Now, this is a very sexy woman
It is.
now.
Yes, and you look at it, and I'll tell you what is appealing. Look at the waistline. It's completely different. It's caved in. She's got positive curves now instead of what she had before, negative curves. Let's move
She
on.
could wear low-cut pants.
She
in
can,
this photo.
absolutely. And you probably have a hard time looking at that scar. She's further out. She's about 4 months out.
I don't see any incision.
These photos have not
Is
been
it
touched
below
up.
this? Is it below this
The
part?
incision is somewhere around here.
And that's it.
That's it. Second feature of Lipotuck. The upper abdomen is flat. Traditionally, you can't get that with
So you
tummy
went
tuck.
high. You went
You
very high.
have to go high, and you have to be aggressive over here. People worry about doing liposuction in this area because it may compromise the vascularity of the flap. The flap may die. It may turn black. Horrible thing to happen. Never had it happen to me.
Okay.
Over and over again, it works. And the belly button, natural looking belly button, an innie, not an outie.
Okay.
You gotta get an innie.
So how does this woman's life change? What does she tell you?
Oh my God, you should see her. She's just full of joy. She's just full of life. She came to my office and she just cried, gave me lots of hugs, and we have become very good friends since then.
Now, does this give her, as you say, the leverage to start taking care of herself better?
She already has. I see her at the gyms regularly. I know she's eating well because we keep in touch. So this is a good example of what Lipotuck can do for you. Jumpstart. Let me take care of the body. Let me tell you what I can do surgically for you, and you run and do the rest of it through nutrition and diet and exercise.
Okay, good. Another quick break, and we'll be right back. More photos. You're watching the Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. We're talking about the Lipotuck procedure. If you're unhappy with your abdomen, my advice, stick around for this next segment. We've got dramatic photos coming up. We'll be right back.
I've never really had a waist. I always carried a lot of weight around my middle, and had a stomach. I wanted to get rid of that. I was a 10-12, and now I'm a 4-6. Oh, I would say don't do it unless you're going to have Dr. Ahamadi do it. He knows what he's doing, and I just feel like he's the best. He's very, very professional. He's very meticulous. He is very kind, and I just think Dr. Ahamadi is a wonderful doctor.
You're watching the Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. We are here with board-certified plastic surgeon, Dr. Ahamadi, and we're talking about the Lipotuck, combination liposuction and tummy tuck. Okay, Dr. Ahamadi, what are we looking at here?
Very young lady, has never been pregnant, just overweight. And we all know how you get there. You just stop exercising, you start eating the junk food, and that's what your body ends up.
Huge overhang.
Huge overhang.
What is this right here? It's like
even above the belly. You know, its skin starts hanging below the belly button first, then it starts doing the same above the belly button. And then you can also see her upper flank areas. These are not her arms. These are actually rolls of skin and fatty tissue that had to be addressed. Again,
so you're able to remove that fold.
It has to be part of the procedure. It's a one-stop shopping for this look.
Lipo and
tuck.
tummy tuck, obviously on this one.
Yes, absolutely.
So what did you do? How much skin did you have to remove? Or did you have to remove any skin?
Removed skin pretty much all the way from above the belly button, a lot more on this lady, a lot more, all the way down to where the blue line is. And
okay, so I understand. You removed that whole area.
That's correct.
And then you
pulled it together.
Okay.
And then started doing the unthinkable, liposuction the area.
The unthinkable.
The unthinkable.
Why do you call it the unthinkable?
Because that's what I've always been told. Cannot liposuction that flap too much. And very aggressive liposuction for those plastic surgeons who are...
Miserable? Was she miserable like this?
No, absolutely not.
No, I mean miserable before.
Before, they were about to go through a divorce and a breakup.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you did the liposuction.
Life changed. Look at the after picture. Look at the waistline, going from positive curves. She's got positive curves now. You can barely see the scar.
What do you mean positive curves?
That hourglass look, the curves, those pleasing curves, that sexy look. That's
this is very sexy. I mean, this is.
I think so.
I mean, to look at the before. If we could go to the before for a second, and when you look at that before, you would not guess that this woman. And how many weeks later?
She is about 3 months out now.
3 months out.
Correct.
In that photo.
In that photo, and a lot of skin was removed, a lot of skin, and a lot of liposuction was performed. And
she gets a second chance.
She got a second chance in marriage. All worked out fine.
And it bothered her, though, I guess, which is the most important thing.
Correct, yes. But again, what you want to look at is how flat the upper abdomen is.
Right.
How natural the lower abdomen is. It's not pulled too tight.
Now, the thing right here, there was a little fold right there. That's gone.
That's gone.
You lipoed way up into the back?
All the way up to the armpits, and all the way around to the back, and all the way down to the upper thigh. You have to address the trunk in one shot.
You did the unthinkable. Like you say, other surgeons would say, and your training, your formal training, that said you can't do this.
I've been always told that, and I had to break the rules.
You had to break the rules.
I had to break the rules.
To get a great result. Okay, we have time for a few more photos.
Okay, let's look at this one together now. She does not have the same problems as the other pictures that we saw. She's got more fatty tissue and less of a skin problem.
So with this pot belly, this is a younger patient. How old?
She's about 40.
Oh, okay.
She's had a couple of children.
Decent skin tone, good skin tone.
Very skin, yeah, you can hardly see any stretch marks on that picture. That's because probably she didn't get too much weight during her pregnancy.
Would a surgeon look at that and say, she doesn't need a tummy tuck, she just needs lipo?
Commonly made mistake. You would liposuction this lady, skin will start hanging in the middle and especially towards the flank. And if you really want to know how to go about that, just have them sit down in front of you after they've done liposuction from
and they get
boys, and you can see the skin just fold right on itself.
By the way, does this work for men and women?
It does. It does. It works great for men too.
With the big overhang.
With the big overhangs. However, you have to be careful with men because a lot of men have what we call intestinal fat.
Okay.
Inside is fat.
For those hard stomachs.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what the term. The term.
So they may not be great candidates, but for the ones with fatty overhang, that's good.
It will work.
Okay, so back to this woman again.
So I had to think differently about it. She would at most get a mini tummy tuck, and maybe a little bit of liposuction. But what I gave her was a more aggressive tummy tuck and a very, very aggressive liposuction.
Really? Okay.
So again, I started doing liposuction on the sides first, because that's the area that I would like to address first during the surgery. You've got to get the sides trimmed down, otherwise it will not look good. Then you move on to the upper abdomen, liposuction it aggressively, and then remove the extra skin.
Now, when I look at this before and after side by side, it's subtle. I mean, it's drastic, but it's also very subtle.
It is.
She doesn't look done, because I've seen some tummy tucks out there interviewing surgeons over the years.
And
some of them, that belly button is flat as a board.
They're just sticking in your face. You're going, oh my God, what happened?
This is natural. In fact, if I saw her in a bathing suit, and I feel like I have a good eye for this now that I've looked at a lot of before and after pictures, who would know she had anything done?
Well, if she covers it up, if she covers up with the skull.
I don't see any incisions on her. And she had a tummy tuck.
The incision is there. You just have to look for it.
So this is an athletic look as well.
It's a very natural look. The idea is not to overdo it. You want to do just enough amount of liposuction to get those positive curves that we're talking about going. Flatten the upper abdomen, remove enough skin, but not too much, so that it's not too tight below the belly button and the pubic area. If you look at a female's body, it's a lot flatter on top above the belly button than it is below the belly button. They got more waist than the man, but the flanks are a lot more curvy than ours. A man's body is completely different. It's very angular. It's very straight. Women have more curves. You have to recreate those curves.
So what do you say to the person watching this? They think maybe they're too far gone. They already went to a surgeon and said, I don't know, you might have to lose 50 pounds first.
I would say, come on over, let me take a look at you. I'll be very honest with you. If I think that you're not a candidate for it and you're not going to have good results, you'll hear it from me.
Because you make it sound like you're going to lipo anybody. So you do turn some people away.
I have turned people away.
Okay.
Mostly people whom I don't think will end up giving me back what I want from them, which is diet and exercise. Remember, it's a contract between us. I will do this for you, but you will have to give me back the diet and exercise. That's the key. That's what all these patients need, just a jump start to get them started, and then the rest of it is up to them. But I don't want to let them go. I want to I do keep in touch with them, and we're building a support group for each other, for these ladies, so that they can talk, they can share their stories, and those skeptical people are more than welcome to listen to them and join them and talk with them over the phone or even visit them. All these people are happy to tell the stories to the skeptics out there.
Dr. Ahamadi, thanks for coming on the show. Great stuff, and very interesting. Thanks.
Thank you for having me, Randy.
You've been watching The Wellness Hour. I'm Randy Alvarez. If you would like to see this interview online, live, you could visit our website at wellnesshour.com. For now, I wish you good health.
Thanks for watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news with your host, Randy Alvarez, the authority on health issues.